Alright, so here is part 2 versus Kong. He had asked for a friendly battle right after we finished our league match, per se. So I agreed to it. Like, battling's pretty fun anyways. So, the rules here were one mythical and one main legend, at most, something like that. So, yeah, this is basically the clashing of our two teams. So he sends out the Cloister as I lead with my Thunderous. And I'm gonna Volt Switch. I got Life Orb on here, so it's gonna do a good little Oko action. See, the way Thunderous's name is spelled, it kind of makes me like rethink life, cause something looks wrong about it. I know like Pokemon does weird things, but yeah. So the mythical I chose was Celebi. Um, this is a like super generic Celebi set. I actually didn't put this together. Someone had gave it to me, but I had gave them the set, and I mainly wanted rocks on it. So the Celebi actually doesn't really do much. So I switch out to my Gliscor. I am not wanting to take a Flare Blitz, and so he does go for the Swords Dance, and it's pretty crazy. I go for the Swords Dance too, but I end up living on 13 HP, I think. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It's happened like twice. I'm pretty sure that's holding the THICC club, so I think I just got a good damage roll. So I'm gonna Earthquake. I'm not sure if that little bit of chip damage mattered, because I do know that Marowak is pretty defensive. But this is an offensive Gliscor, I think. I know I do have some attack EVs on there, but yeah. So he's going to switch into his Porygon 2 after that goes down. I'm just going to knock off expecting an Ice Beam. But he does go for the Trick Room, which is good for me, so that means that I get a little more recovery off the poison. So I'm going to switch out and go back into my Dialga. Yeah, so he does come out with the Ice Beam. It does a pretty sizable amount of damage. He does go for it again. I was gonna go for the Aura Sphere, but I imagined him switching into his Lugia since I brought in something fat too. But he does stay in and he takes the Ice Beam. It does good damage. A good thing that I used knockoff to take care of the Eviolite, because that was my priority. So now I'm gonna go into Suicune. I'm afraid of this thing having Thunderbolt though. That's my only issue. But Suicune, I don't really use Suicune that much, but every time I do, it always does wonders, because Suicune's pretty fat, just like that. And so I'm gonna start the Calm Mind shenanigans and get even fatter now. Trick Room's gonna wear off. It honestly doesn't even matter to me. So he switches into his Blastoise. I don't think Blastoise gets anything super effective. And so now I think I'm at +2. So he is going to Mega Evolve his Blastoise and get the Mega Launcher ability. So I'm just gonna sub up. So he does go for Aura Sphere. Not gonna do too much there. So he's gonna withdraw it, knowing that he can't bust through it. And he's gonna send in his Lugia, which is equally as fat as Suicune. So I'm pretty much going with the Calm Mind spam, so it's a little stally here. But yeah, he can't really touch me behind this sub. I thought that I would have done more damage because I had totally neglected how fat Lugia is too. But I think Shadow Ball is always good tech for Suicune and Raikou at least, because I know Entei's like hella physical. But yeah, he's actually packing the thunder, and it actually hit. So that is going to wear down my sub and take it out. And I'm going to retaliate with a hefty Shadow Ball. But Lugia still tanks it. And I think I switch out here, or no. Yeah, I switch out there and go back into my Thundurus. And I had switched into Thundurus thinking that its base form had Volt Absorb, but I had forgotten that it got Prankster. And judging by this, I can tell that his Lugia is faster, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. So I do go for the Dark Pulse. In hindsight, I probably should have hit Volt Switch and I would have killed it most likely. But yeah, see, that confuses me because Lugia set up Calm Minds before I attacked with Dark Pulse, but Volt Switch got priority or something. I'm like very confused. If you can explain that or something, just like leave a comment. But yeah. So he sends back in his Blastoise. I assume he has Ice Beam, so I just U-turn out. And I go back into my Gliscor. So he does go for the Dark Pulse. And Gliscor goes, Gliscor is out. I think I had did that so I could get a clean switch into my Infernape. But the thing is that I completely forgot that this Infernape wasn't sashed and it was Electrium Z. Because I have Z Thunder Punch on here. So I completely just throw away my Infernape, though I should have just fired off the Z move and got off as much damage as possible. So I go back into my Thundurus, and he's going to switch out his Blastoise and send in his Porygon 2. But see, yeah, and he traces the Prankster. I don't even think he gets Prankster moves anyways. Or at least uses them. But yeah, so I Volt Switch out, and I go back into my Suicune, knowing that he can't really do too much to me. So he's going to switch out his Porygon 2 now and go back into his Blastoise. To which I will take this opportunity and start setting up my wall once more. Suicune is so good, yo. Like, I want to build like an actual team with Suicune sometime in the near future. But yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to do somewhat consistent uploads of Wi-Fi battles before Gen 8 comes out, just to relish in the moment before switching over to the Nintendo Switch for everything. I'm gonna try getting a Switch capture card sometime before Sword and Shield do come out. So yeah, I'll have like way better quality and stuff like that. But I think I'm at +2 or +3 now. So yeah, he's barely leaving a scratch with that. There's nothing he can do at this point. So I'm gonna go for the sub, knowing that he can't break it either way. Yeah, just gonna go for a Shadow Ball to get off as much damage as possible, because I don't think it's gonna kill it anyway. Oh snap, that did way less than I thought, but yeah. So he goes for another Dragon Pulse. and my substitute fades. But let's see. Yeah, I'm going for another Calm Mind because now I have to boost my damage even more just to get through it. Because Blastoise is a pretty good tank, especially Mega Blastoise. I feel like a lot of Pokemon get slept on because of how conventional team building works in competitive. And like some things just like don't match up against other ones for like the smallest reasons. But they'll like literally thrive in like any other tier. I find that weird, but I mean it works. So Shadow Ball will clean out the Blastoise. Going for another sub, no, you can't touch me. He actually does go for the Trick Room. If it were me, I would have just been trying. I would have clicked Toxic or something if he did have it. I honestly don't know his full set. But he goes for the Tri Attack, and my sub eats it. I go for the Scald. I think I'm at +4 now, so the Porygon 2 goes down next. And lastly, it's his Marshadow. I expected Marshadow to live an attack, but yeah, Marshadow actually ends up getting one-shotted. Suicune's pretty nice. It is a very nifty mon.